Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Destiny from Desphixs and welcome back to the e-commerce projects using Django. In this one, we'll get started working with the wish lists. That is what we'll be doing. Hopefully you enjoy the video and learn something new. Consider dropping a like on the video and also subscribing to the channel, as that will really mean the world to me. Check out some of the links in the description below. I've got a couple of courses there and one of them should help you become a better Python Django developer. Also, Desphixs is launching in less than 60 days. I want you to hop over to desphixs.io, punch in your email address, and you'll be the first in line that will notify as soon as it gets launched. So you can start testing and give your feedback. That is going to be it. So let's get started. Begin by opening up your code editor, and we just have 3 functions to create in this one, which is going to be the wishlist list page, the remove from wishlist function, and also the add to wishlist. Let's get started. Open up the customer, and just down here, you want to create a new login required. And this one is going to be wishlist, that basically taking just a parameter called request. Wishlist underscore list should be equal to, then I'm going to say customer underscore models dot wishlist dot objects dot filter, and I'm going to say user should be equal to request dot user. Good. So when you have done that, that is pretty much it. You can see how easy it is. And then you just need to go ahead and pass in the wishlist underscore list here, and also the wishlist underscore list dot html. Oops, not that, just like this. So I'm gonna return render over here, passing request, and over here passing customer slash wishlist dot html, and here passing a context. Good. So when you've done all this, that is basically everything that we want to do right now. So let's create the next one, which is going to be removing items from wishlist. So define a login required and say remove from wish list, and over here it just takes in a request and also an ID. And what we just need to do is say wishlist should be equal to customer models dot wishlist dot objects dot get, and what do we want to get? User should be request dot user, and ID should be ID. So we just want to say wishlist dot delete. And then over here, what we just need to say is return a message, messages dot success request, and we'll say item removed from wishlist. Very good. And after that, let's go ahead and return redirect to, and I want to redirect back to the wishlist page, customer wishlist. Very good. Now the last one is going to be the add to wishlist. So define a add to wishlist and pass in a request and also an ID there. You should still take in the login required. Okay. And just what we need to do here is check if request.user.is authenticated. If we're going to check for this, then there is no need for the login required. So if request.user.is authenticated, then what do we want to do? Let's firstly fetch a particular product based on the ID that will be passed to us from the front end. The product is going to be store models dot products dot objects dot get, the objects dot get, where ID is equal to the ID of the product that was given to us from the front end. And also let's go ahead and create the wish list. So all we need to do is say customer models dot wishlist dot object dot create, say user should be request dot user, and product should be product. They go ahead and fetch all the wish lists. So wish lists should be equal to customer model dot wishlist dot objects dot filter by user should be equal to request dot user. Good. And over here, I'm going to return JSON response, passing a message and say item added to wish list. Very good. And let's also return the wish list count. Wish list underscore count should be wish lists dot count. That's everything I want. What if a user is not logged in? Let's return message that says user is not logged in. Then wishlist count should be returned as 0. All right, that is everything that we want. Open up the URLs py and let's configure this. Let's create this new URLs for the wish lists. So this one is going to be wish list. This one is going to be add to wish list. This one is going to be remove from wish lists. So remember that remove from wish list takes just one parameter called ID. Add to wish list takes nothing. So please remove this one over here. And also just the wish list takes absolutely nothing, just the wish list, okay? And you also want to make sure to pass that in here. All right, and after you've done that, you can now open up the sidebar, open up the customer sidebar, and for the wish list, which is this one here, you'll go ahead and create URL customer wish list, and that's it. We should be good to go. So when you have done that now, you could create a new file called wishlist HTML, and I want you to take the wishlist HTML from here, which is the raw template, and put it in your own customer template. Very good. I believe this is what we've been doing, so you should already be getting a hang of how this works. And you already know the drill. We also need to add this extent and this end block so that we have the styling and everything coming perfectly well. And also for the placeholder sidebar, go ahead and add it here. Should be here. So that should be, if you don't want to have to type it all out, you could just go ahead and include it. I think we also don't have it here, but we do have it here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get back here and put it down here. Also, for the others, I think we don't also have it. So we gotta also put it down. Oh, see it here. Good. All right. That is it. So now let's test it out to see what we have. I'm going to open this. Oh, finally, DHL opened up from the last video. See, it's opened up. You could just hit track and it will then track it. So that is it for that one. You can see it says, sorry, no tracking was found because that was wrong. So all we just need to do right now is reload this page. And we just need to select wish list. And we should see this good looking page here. But don't worry, it doesn't have any URL. We'll work with this later. Okay? And also don't mind the pagination. We'll also work with this later. So what we just need to do over here, instead of the placeholder count, it should be wishlist underscore list dot count. Let me see that. Okay, can you see? 0. You know what I'm going to do? I will go ahead and manually add a wish list for myself to see how it works. So I will manually create maybe 2 or 3 wish lists. Destiny for the MacBook Pro, and also Destiny for the Sony A7C. And then you could reload this page and we should see 2 of this now show up here. Okay, hold on. This is still reloading. All right, we can only see 1 because we haven't actually looped through, but we can now see 2 of this show up here. Good. So now let's loop through. Collapse this, and this is where you need to run your for loop. Okay. So in here is where you need to say for wish lists, or you could say for W. Totally depends on what you want to call it. I'm going to say for W in wish lists. Okay, and I'm going to paste what I've copied, and let's see. You should now see 2 of that. See, 2 of it. Very good. So this one is going to be exactly like we had in the home page for the product detail, only that it's going to have W appended to it. So let me see. We come over to the home. See how it's looking. That's how we exactly want it to look. But you know what? I think if I start copying and pasting things, someone might get confused. So let's just go ahead and type it out. The href here is going to be URL and store product underscore detail. w.product.slug is what we need to get there. For the product image, it's going to be w.product.image.url. Very good. I'm just going to take this. I don't want to have to keep retyping. For the product category, it's going to be w.product.category.title. And same thing goes for the category link, but we haven't worked with that. We'll work with that later. For the product name should be w.product.name. The URL to go to the product should be same as this one here. And for the rating, now if you want, you could leave the rating. If you want, you could remove the rating. If you want to leave the rating, then we've got to copy it from the index. So the index store. See this rating over here? It's exactly what you want to copy. And back to the wish list, just paste it down here. Good. So all you just need to do is p.average. I want you to select all the p dots and change it to w.product. Okay, then replace all of it. And then let's see. Product detail not found. So just so you know, it's product underscore detail, not product dash detail. Product underscore detail. Okay. And now let's see. Good. Can you see it's beginning to come in? Let's just change the price and I think we should be good to go. So for the placeholder price, it should be w.product.price. For the remove link, now this is where we have to put in that link that we created to remove from wishlist. For this one, it's going to be a URL for customer remove from wishlist. Then you just need to say w.id. And for the add to cart, you could still retain everything that we had, like the underscore add underscore to cart over here. Also the data ID that we had here. Now I'm getting all this from the index, okay? Add on my clipboard. So w.product.id for data ID and also add to cart so that the user can immediately add to cart from their wish list, which should be a very good experience. So now when you reload this, this is what we have. Doesn't really look good to me, but let's see. Let me break this apart. All right, the way that's looking, it's kind of seemed like it's in a deflex. Yeah, I thought so. It's in a deflex. Let's see. Shouldn't be in a deflex. Now, this is what I want. So as soon as you click on this, okay, no quantity and no ID. That is good. So you need to actually add quantity for it to work. Remember in the index, let me show you guys. In the index HTML, for the add to cart, we have this input here. So you could copy this and get back to the wishlist HTML, and just below the add to cart button, you could paste it down there. Good. And then let's try this out again. So you could try adding to carts. See? Item added to cart. Very good. See, 1 item in our cart now, 2 items in our cart. And if you want to delete, you could click on this and let's see. Item removed from wishlist, and it has been removed. So wishlist and also removing from wishlist is now working. The only thing that's left is for us to add to wishlist from over here. Good. So you want to open up your index HTML. All right, to add to wishlist, all you need to do is this A tag over here needs to take a couple of things to it before we can be able to use it to add items to the wish list. So the A tag firstly needs a class of, so it's firstly in the class of add to wish list. After that, it needs some data attributes. So data product underscore ID should be equal to whatever the product ID is, which in this case is going to be p.id, and that should be it. So now what I want you to do is open up your functions.js, which is this one, and let's write the function to add to cart. So let's go ahead and write the function to add to wish list. Now I'm going to say document dot on click of the add to wish list. What do we want to do here? I'm going to say function should be, and I'm going to say const button should be this. I believe I have explained this in the previous tutorial, which means this over here is basically the button that we are clicking on. And don't worry, more in-depth tutorials are going to come on this very soon for JavaScript. You'll better understand how most of all these simple things works, right? So I'm going to get the product ID. So product underscore ID should be equal to the button dot attribute. And remember, in the button attribute, we created an attribute called data dash product underscore ID, right? Now, if you want, you could even go ahead and log the product ID just to see what you're getting. And then let's use Ajax to make a call to the API and add items to wish list. So how do we do this? So I'm going to say $.ajax. And the very first thing I would like to pass in is the URL. The URL, remember, it's customer / add to wish list / then over here it should take the product underscore ID. If it's going to take the product underscore ID like this, that means instead of using a regular string, we should use a backtick. Now with the $, it's going to be able to take in a variable. But if it's taking this in, that means our URL should be expecting an ID to come in here. So over here, pass in ID, and there you go. So after this, the next thing will be to basically create the before send. So let me take the before send from one of these. So while it's sending, I just want to show a spinning icon there with you want, you could put text gray. It's up to you what you want to put in there. I'm just going to remove this one and say text gray. Very good. And also for the success. So success function, it basically taking response and button underscore HTML, not that, my bad, button.html. Because I'm trying to change the text that's in the button to become whatever the add to wish list was initially. Okay, so we want to set it back to this. Set it back to that. All right. So when you've done that, that is everything that we want to do for now. The next thing will be to let's log the response, because remember that the response returns two types of messages. So if response dot message is equal to, and let's grab the first message. So if it's equal to user is not logged in, then we want to do something else. We want to do something else. So if it's equal to user is not logged in, you could just go ahead and change this button back to what it was. So you could even just leave it there. It's still going to work. And then you just want to toast.fire. So toast.fire icon should be warning, and title should be response.message. Response.message. Very good. Same thing goes for this one also. So this one should be success because that one would now be item added to cart, and this should be the title. Very good. So let's test this out. On the home page, give this a very hard refresh, Ctrl+Shift+R, so that it also sync the latest script that we just wrote now. There you go. It has been reloaded. You can click on this now. That just reloaded the page. I know why. That is because in the index HTML, let's open that up again. This is an A tag that has an empty href. Just put in a hash over there so it doesn't reload the page. Now you could reload your page one more time manually and click on this. Why is it going to the top? I think we could do something like that so it doesn't take us back to the top. Okay, click on this. Or you know what? We could even just remove the href in total so that it doesn't take us to anywhere. Or you could even just change that to a p tag. It's up to you, but I just needed this. So I'm clicking on this now and nothing is happening. Let me open up my console and see what's going on. So you click on this. See, button EL is not defined. Good. Get back to the script. And over here, let me search for button EL. It should not be button EL. It should just be button, okay? I didn't call it button EL. I called it button instead. So let's reload this one more time. And let's try adding to cart. See, it's spinning, but it returned an error for us. That means if an error occurs, let's create another one for error function. So if an error occurs, we want to change the button back to what it initially was. Okay, so let's reload this page and we'll debug the error now and see if it works. Good. See, it spinned and changed the icon back to what it was if an error occurred. So let's see what the error is. It's saying function has no attributes user. Okay, let's see what that is. If requests.user.is authenticated, not if redirects.user. Okay, that was the issue. When that reloads, there's no need to reload the page again since it's coming from the server. You could just add and you see item added to wish list, and you can see over here it was added to wish list successfully. Now you can also add this one also. Let's see. Good. So when you get back to your wish list page, let's see what we have there. So when you open this page up and come here, you can now see 2 items should be there. Let's see. There you go. We have 3 items, but this doesn't really make sense, which means if a user click on one item multiple times, it will keep adding to the wish list. So that does not make sense. How do we fix this? For this product here, I'm going to say products.object.filter by this dot first, and if not, okay, we get that one firstly. Let's also go ahead and try getting wish list based on this particular product. So create a new one called wishlist exists. So wishlist exists should be equal to customer models dot wishlist dot object dot filter by products is equal to products, and user is equal to requests dot user dot first. So if not wishlist exists, that means wishlist does not exist, right? That is only when we want to run this code. Very good. So if not wishlist exists, that is only when we want to add items to the wishlist. So please go ahead and spin up your server again if it's not working. And I'm going to remove all this now. All right, no items in wishlist. Now I'm going to get back to the home and I'm going to click on this to add items to wish list. What happened? Manager has no attributes filler. It should be filter and not filler. Okay, filter. So now you could click on this and see item was added to wish list. Very good. Click on it again. Cannot access local variable wish list where it's not associated with a value. Okay, I think that is because this does not exist anymore. That is because a wish list already exists and it's still trying to call this. In this case, what I would just do is bring this to the back just like that. Okay, and that should fix the error for us. So just indent it and let's try this out again. It should be working now. See, it's working. So you can add this multiple times as much as you want. Even this also, you can add it as much as you want. But in the wish list, we should only have 2 items showing up there. Let's see. That is pretty much it, guys. Everything is working perfectly well. You can see that we just have 2 items showing up here. And in the next video, we will get started with something else. I don't really know yet, but maybe we can start working with a notification, marking notification as seen. After we will start working with the address. But for now, that is basically it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new. If there is something that you don't understand, let me know in the comment section below and I'll be very happy to help you out. Also, Desphixs is launching in less than 60 days. Hop over to desphixs.io, drop your email address, and you'll be the first in line to know when we launch. You can also check out some of the links in the description below, as one of them might help you, guide you to whatever you're looking for, or the courses there even help you become a better Python, Django developer. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, mad love, peace out.